Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. My name is Alex Brasky, alongside Coach Dan Dickens here at Notre Dame High School, the site of tonight's Section 5 boys basketball matchup. We expect a good one. It's the Class D1 quarterfinal between host Notre Dame and visiting Honeoye. Before we get too deep into tonight's broadcast, we'd like to first thank our sponsors, beginning with our scoreboard sponsor, and that is, of course, Crazy Cheap Cars. Crazy Cheap Cars is the ultimate in price and selection. Find your next vehicle at crazycheapcars.com. Crazy Cheap Cars carries the largest selection of over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs of any dealer in the Genesee region. At Crazy Cheap Cars, they need your trade-in. Top dollar paid for your trade, so give them that call at 585-948-8000, or better yet, we'll see you right here. That Coach Dickens voting that my best Mike Ognaby impression. I've done several. I'm trending in an upward direction. Also, Genesee Community College, Genesee Your Path. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply or call 866-CALL-GCC today. Also, Casella Waste. Are you looking for residential pickup at your house? A dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business? Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs and is always putting your waste to work. Call 585-308-0662 today for a quote. Also, you talked about Crazy Cheap Cars, and we'd also like to thank UR Medicine, Noise Memorial Health. Convenient care close to home. That's UR Medicine, Noise Health. We're getting set here for the Class D1 quarterfinal between number 3 Notre Dame and number 6 Honeoye. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens alongside. Looks like a light crowd here at Notre Dame High School, Coach. Usually a packed house, but plenty of seating if you still want to come on down and catch the game. It should be a good one between two talented teams, as Coach Mikey Rapone, in his first season as head coach of the Fighting Irish, going up against Honeoye's head coach, Rob Delasante, listed on my roster as Coach Honeoye. I knew that wasn't right. So, Coach Dickens, we bring you in after the national anthem, and we'll gain some perspective and what you determine to be expected of this matchup here tonight. We pause for a moment for the national anthem here at Notre Dame High School.
Learn the rules of the game in order to better inform spectators, treat both teams in a manner which you would expect to be treated, accept the judgment of coaches and officials, and encourage other spectators to participate in a spirit of good sportsmanship. Now at this time, I ask you all, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, Coach, so this 3-6 matchup, Notre Dame, a defending champion, looking up at a fellow defending champion in Avoca Prattsburgh. The 1 and the 3 between them is number 2 Fillmore, but they take on number 6 Honeoye here tonight.
Yeah, you've got Honeoye making the trip here. Nice crowd from Honeoye coming in. A lot of people made the trip up to Batavia. Three guys for Honeoye really to keep an eye on. Owen Bader, number 2. Evan Cuba, number 10, is going to be inside for them. He averaged about 12 and 10. 13, Owen Reynolds has been a key contributor for them as well. Obviously, when you talk about Notre Dame, they're going to have a bunch of kids that can score on the floor, starting with Jordan Welker. On top of that, you're going to have Ryan Fitzpatrick, who was out and did not play when we worked the game at the college. We also have Sherwood and Jimmy Fanera for them. The biggest thing here that Coach Delisante told me that he's concerned about is the press, bothering them on the short court, the 2-2-1 press Notre Dame typically plays. And then obviously with Notre Dame having a lot of scores, he's concerned a little bit about making sure they have a hand, especially in Fitzpatrick's face, but also keeping Jordan Welker out of the lane. I think we could have a little bit of a competitive game here. If Cuba's going to stick around, they're just not going to be able. They can't afford to turn the ball over. This could get very ugly very soon if Honeoye turns it over frequently at the beginning.
Sorry about that. A camera almost went down on us, Coach. Spectator getting a little too close for comfort, but good save by myself, I must say. So 8 minutes on the clock. First quarter getting set to get underway. Starting lineups being introduced for both sides here at Reinhardt Gymnasium on Mike Rapone Court. Longtime head coach for Notre Dame, Mike Rapone, stepped down following last season, gave way to his son, Mikey Rapone, former state champ for this Notre Dame boys basketball program. Starting for Honeoye, Owen Bader, Owen Botter, Landon Washburn, also Evan Cuba. And we'll get you the remainder of Honeoye's starting lineup in a moment. Notre Dame will run out there an experienced starting 5 of Jordan Welker, Jaden Sherwood, Jay Antonor, Bryson Berry, and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick dealt with some injuries this year, has since returned to the lineup, and has played a key role for the Irish this season. 3-ball from the corner, and it's knocked down by Washburn. So Honeoye with a good start here. They're out to a 3-0 advantage.
Great start for Honeoye there, the 8th grader. Landon Washburn with the big basket. You're going to get a turnover here on Notre Dame. Good patience by Honeoye down there against the 2-3 zone. Here's where they're going to be a little concerned, is breaking the press that Notre Dame's going to throw at them.
All right, so we had a number change here that I was trying to get sorted out. Billy Covey on the floor for Honeoye, listed in the program as 33, wearing 32 tonight, while also on the floor for Honeoye, rounding out the starting lineup, is Owen Reynolds. So we'll stop our clock for a moment, have it match the game clock here at Notre Dame, but it's a 3-0 Honeoye lead. 7:05 remaining. We'll sync it up as soon as it hits the 6:48 mark. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens here with you. And another 3 tried from the corner, no good. Rebound goes to Jaden Sherwood, pushed up the floor to Fitzpatrick and out of bounds. So, Coach, you said Honeoye couldn't turn the ball over, and Notre Dame turning it over a bit in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, they've touched it 3 times on offense, 3 turnovers. Reminder, when you get the bye, you sit around for a while. I'm sure they had some scrimmages, but it's different. Like, now you're out there playing in the first competitive game in probably like close to 10 days. So get the jitters out. We'll see what happens here. Honeoye's had 2 good possessions down here. One, they made the 3. The other one just came up short. Nice step to it.
And now the inside look, no good from Evan Cuba. And Notre Dame takes back over, looking to break the seal here on the rim. 6:10 remaining in this first quarter. Sherwood, a lot of trouble at the high post, tipped away Bryson Berry comes up with it, now attacking the rim. And the finish. Berry gets the finish, but a baseball pass quickly the other way. What work from this Honeoye team to catch Notre Dame off guard after the made basket, quickly going the other way to Washburn.
Yeah, great job there of getting it right in bounds. Washburn got out and scored. They're going to try to get it in quick again.
And Sherwood there finishing for Notre Dame, and now picked off by Berry. Getting involved here in the early going is Bryson Berry. Fitzpatrick for three. Good! Ryan Fitzpatrick knocks down the three. It's a 2-point Irish lead, their first advantage of the game. We're nearly 3 minutes into this first quarter on the Crazy Cheap Cars scoreboard. Inside look, Covey ties the game at 7. Great action here in the early going, Coach.
Yeah, up and down. It's good pass there by Batter. This high screen, Honeoye, better help this time.
Berry inside, couldn't get the roll that time. Antonor to the rim, nice up and under, couldn't get the finish, and crashing through for the rebound and the travel is Honeoye's Evan Cuba.
Yeah, that was one of those tough breaks there. He comes hard to grab the rebound, but fall down with the ball. It's a travel. Good block by the 8th grader.
Sherwood unable to finish. Berry inside. Knocked away. Honeoye last to touch it.
Really impressed with this 8th grader, Landon Washburn. He's got 5 points, a block, and a rebound.
Here's Fitzpatrick handing it off to Sherwood. Back to Fitzpatrick, fading away and knocking it down. May have been out of the frame. Tight quarters here at Notre Dame. But Fitzpatrick, the hot hand in the early going for ND. Here's Honeoye now on the other end. Good start for the Bulldogs here. And the Irish have followed suit. From the short corner, Pavel Durek knocking it down. Here's Notre Dame now. Sherwood driving down the lane. Nice move, but it was tipped away before Berry connected on the second chance effort. A timeout on the floor called by Honeoye. What an exciting start to this game. A 3-point lead for Notre Dame here at ND High School. Genesee Community College, Genesee Your Path. Apply for free. Genesee.edu/apply. Over 120 scholarships offered, and over 88% of full-time students receive financial aid. Also, Casella Waste will save your business time and money on trash and recycling services. Affordable and reliable local service is available. Containers of all sizes and free delivery of those containers also available. 585-308-0662 for a quote today. Also, crazycheapcars.com, the ultimate in price and selection. 585-948-8000. Crazy Cheap Cars in Oakfield. Also, UR Medicine Noise Health, quality care close to home. So Coach Honeoye has to like what they've seen in the early going against this vaunted Notre Dame offense, but the Irish starting to find their way.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Delisani talked about wanting to have hands up on Ryan Fitzpatrick. I thought both of the threes he made were very well defended. There is just sometimes nothing you can do when a kid makes shots, and both of those were tough shots. Big boost for Ryan's confidence going into the rest of this game. You get that turnover here we talked about. They've been pretty good with it, but now that's the second time they've turned it over against the press.
So apologies, a mispronunciation on my part. Pavle Durek on the floor for Honeoye as Ryan Fitzpatrick knocks down his third three-pointer of this first quarter. There's something in the water here in Batavia in our first game here in Batavia at 3 p.m. Javen McFollins for Batavia hit 5 3-pointers in the first half. Fitzpatrick with 3 here in the first quarter. And just going back to the comment I made about Pavle Durek, my Apologies on the mispronunciation. Durick is an exchange student from Serbia. His mother is now watching. Slajana Juric. So we'd like to thank the Juric family for tuning in, and it's always great to see kids from out of the country come overseas and not only experience the high school experience, but experience what American high school sports are all about. I know I spoke with Geneseo's exchange student. His name escapes me for a story last basketball season. He was from Ukraine, and the war in Ukraine began as he was over here with Geneseo as another finish inside. Gets Honeoye within 4. And he also competed on the basketball team, and to just see the joy that he took and to tell me about how much different it is, high school sports here as opposed to where he's from, and getting that experience, it's got to be a great time for young Durick here. And a travel call.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have a couple foreign exchange students that played. One was from France, and one was from Spain. So it's good to have them, give them that experience as they come over. It's a different game here than it is usually in their country. I know that, especially my player that came from Spain had a hard time with the physical play that we played over here in the league. So good to see the foreign exchange students getting a opportunity here to play. Good composure there by Honeoye beating the press.
So 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. 4-point lead for the Irish. Jordan Welker pulling the trigger from the top of the key. Can't get the roll. Rebound goes to Cuba. He's been all over the boards and now all over the floor diving after that loose ball, but Welker able to come up with it. Jordan Welker to the basket, and he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2 shots with 2:05 remaining here in the first quarter. And I do apologize if there's a few times where I'm unable to catch the right portion of the floor here. Like I said, it is tight quarters. We're much closer than we're accustomed to being in terms of these streams, but this is an old school gym in Notre Dame. They've since revamped it and brought it to life, and it's beautiful in here with the new floor and the new paint job and some new baskets and lights and everything. But still some tight quarters, and we're doing our best to bring you the best vantage point possible, but sometimes I get caught a little short going to that right corner as I'm trying to operate the camera, the scoreboard, and give you the play-by-play as Coach provides his top-notch analysis that we pay him such a hefty amount for. Welker taking it away. Just joking. Coach doing this out of the greatness of his heart and his love for the game here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Coach, you stepped down a season ago. This is your first opportunity to take in sectional basketball in quite some time as a spectator. Your impressions of the level of play and just the emotion overall in the gym these past couple of days?
You know, in the quarters, you're going to have some lopsided scores. We've had a couple of them, but I'd like to see the effort everybody's been putting out. This one looks like it's going to be a little bit more competitive. I think Honeoye is doing a good job being composed against the press for the most part. Batter, especially, I think, has had the ball in his hands quite a bit. And then Owen Reynolds. And then, like I've said, Landon Washburn's done a nice job. So missing a couple of those buckets inside. They're going to have to finish those. They're going to want to hang around.
Sherwood had it tipped away, but able to regain possession for the Irish. Jimmy Finera attacking the basket. And Ryan Fitzpatrick rejected at the rim by Owen Bader. Hayden Groff onto the floor for Notre Dame now for the first time tonight. Finera pulls the trigger. Can't get the roll. Rebound goes to Honeoye's Covey. Here come the Bulldogs now. Final 30 seconds with the shot clock off. Here in the first quarter, we got a 5-point game on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Honeoye trying to hold for the last shot. Notre Dame making that a difficult proposition with their pressure defense in the half court. Fitzpatrick pressing the issue now. Sherwood and Welker elevated upward of the three-point line. And that creates a turnover and a finish at the rim for Welker. And I've said it a bunch this year, Coach, when you try to hold for the last shot like that with so much time left at the high school level, it's very difficult to maintain possession for 30 seconds in the half court in a wind down situation, especially when the other team is elevating their defense beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You got to practice that. Like, that's something you should be going over quite a bit. It's when you just stall it, you're not used to it, or dealing with the pressure like Notre Dame was there. That's what happens sometimes. And we saw it earlier in the year where teams weren't executing. As the year went on, like teams executed a little bit. I just think the pressure Notre Dame gave there was too much for Honeoye. I'd like to see him get a little squattier and get the elbows out. Not throwing elbows, but just get a little wider with the ball to protect it.
So the slow clap from the Honeoye faithful trying to get their Bulldogs into this one. Genesee Community College bringing you this game here tonight. Also Casella Waste, Crazy Cheap Cars, and UR Medicine, Noise Health. Second quarter action here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens here with you. It's been a good start to this game. Some quality action. Notre Dame seizes a 7-point advantage to end the first quarter. And now Jaden Sherwood off the mark to begin the second quarter. Nice rebound in there and controlling the paint by Owen Botter, and a foul committed by the Irish.
Yeah, good job being strong with that there. One of the things, if they're going to double team the rebound, be strong and step through it. If you can use one dribble, if you step through that double team, you're going to end up with quite a break. Another turnover, you don't want to catch the ball there. You get yourself in trouble.
So just a little backstory on Notre Dame. They've dealt with so many injury issues this year. What an up and under from Jimmy Fanera, and you see the heavy brace he's wearing on his right shoulder. He's been part of those injury issues that Notre Dame has dealt with. Fitzpatrick also missed plenty of this season with a knee injury. You see the brace on his knee as well, still suffering some ill effects from that early season injury. And also Jay Antonor missed time to start the year with a hand injury. So that's three of Notre Dame's top players that they've been missing at given times throughout the season. And to work out a number 3 seed in the tough Genesee Region League, we talked on our previous broadcast how talented the Genesee Region League is this year. And for Notre Dame to navigate their way to a 3 seed in their classification, mighty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it stinks when you lose guys during the year, but it also gives some of these other guys a little more experience. That's a good foul call. And I think that pays off. A lot of these guys played. Actually, you know, as we talk, we'll go back to that game at GCC when they beat Oakville. That was a huge win for them, and they played that shorthanded. So, really impressed with these guys. You know, like Antonor had a big game that game. I'm really impressed with Antonor and Welker's defensive pressure out front today. It's really pulling Honeoye there. One little airmail there.
And an errant pass from Honeoye's Evan Cuba looking for Pavle Durek. Unable to connect with him. We'll sync up our clock here. Let it get to 6:24. Nice bounce pass there from Welker. Fanera to Hayden Groff. Attacking the basket. High off glass. And the finish. Notre Dame's lead is up to 11. It's largest of this contest. And Botter was fouled on the loose ball. With 6:14 remaining in the second, Notre Dame starting to gain the momentum it was looking for, starting to gain control of this game here.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough in here. You know this gym. It gets loud. It always seems to be helter-skelter. So for a team not used to playing in this type of atmosphere, it can get into your head a little bit. So, I mean, Honeoye's already used 2 timeouts. It's going to be hard to take another one here to compose them. Nice spin move.
And you said it, Coach. Landon Washburn has been so impressive for Honeoye in the early going. He's almost single-handedly kept them in the game offensively. Antonor along the baseline. Errant pass off the chest of Durek into the hands of Honeoye, but it's taken away quickly by Welker. Sherwood bounces it to Fanera, and a foul on the floor. Notre Dame will have it underneath. So Reynolds, nice job taking it away, but he throws it away, and like you alluded to in the early going, too many turnovers for Honeoye for a team that's looking to pull the upset here on Notre Dame's home floor, as Welker fading away from the second marker, no good. Here comes Washburn now with it all the way to the rim. Tried the left-handed finish, couldn't get it to go, but he'll head to the line for 2 shots with Honeoye trailing by 9.
Yeah, Botter with a good rebound and way to get the ball up the floor. You know, when you're even with the guy, just attack the hoop, and you saw it there, like Washburn did a good job getting to the basket to draw the foul.
8-point lead for Notre Dame now as Cuba takes a break, his first break of the evening by my account. And Washburn has really done no wrong here tonight. Connecting on a couple of free throws. Yeah, mighty impressive for an 8th grader, confirming that with coach as Maverick Hall hands it off to Jordan Welker underneath, fading away and knocking it down. Nice give and go from Welker to Hall, and an even more pretty finish from Welker. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. 9-point lead for the Irish. Fitzpatrick takes it away and he's fouled. Notre Dame's defense has been the difference here. Honeoye has not been able to handle the pressure.
Yeah, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. Coach Delisani wants to slow the game up, limit the possessions, but at the same time, they're having their most success against the press when they get it in quick and beat it over the top. So, you know, you got to go. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in.
Welker kicks it out. Antonor tries the 3, no good. Out of bounds off the Bulldogs. It will stay with the Irish. Maverick Hall, nice cut to the basket. Heady play from Maverick Hall, and it's an 11-point Notre Dame lead. You don't see Hall getting the scorebook very often. Really out there for rebounding, defense, and his high-energy play, but that's a high IQ basketball play there, cutting to the basket. Fitzpatrick for 3, and it rattles home. Ryan Fitzpatrick puts Batavia Notre Dame ahead by 14. 4:22 remaining in the second quarter. That's Fitzpatrick's 4th three-pointer of this first half, rivaling the performance that we saw earlier from Javin McFarland's 5 threes in the first half. He's got 1 more to go to tie him. We'd like to thank Genesee Community College. Genesee, your path. Apply for free. Genesee.edu/apply. Over 120 scholarships offered, and 88% of full-time students receive financial aid. Also, Casella Waste will save your business time and money on trash and recycling services. Casella, call 585-308-0662 for a quote today. Affordable and reliable local service, containers of all sizes, and free delivery of those containers are available. CrazyCheapCars.com. Crazy Cheap Cars is the ultimate in price and selection. 585-948-8000. You can find Crazy Cheap Cars in Oakfield. You can find them online, or better yet, we'll see you right here. We got to get Coach to do his impression by game's end. You are Medicine, Noise, Health, quality care, close to home. It's the Class D1 quarterfinal. Ryan Fitzpatrick's on fire, Coach.
Yeah, you know, and that's the first one that they really didn't have a hand up. He had plenty of time to get set, and it, you know, you give him time, he's not going to miss that too often. So, got a loose ball here.
Again, the harassing defense by Notre Dame nearing a 10-second call. They were able to get it over half court as Honeoye. And an offensive foul. Hayden Groff takes the charge. Notre Dame is doing everything right tonight.
Yeah, great job by Groff getting there, holding his spot. I think Honeoye's had a couple opportunities to take some charges against Notre Dame, but they're kind of looking to go and block shots with their help instead of coming in and taking a charge. But credit to Groff there, getting set, making a pretty easy call for Mark Frankel, the official down there underneath.
As much as this first half has gone in favor of Notre Dame, if Honeoye can close strong over the final 4 minutes, cut it to 10, maybe a bit lower, but that's not a good start in doing so, as Groff swells Notre Dame's lead to 16. But if they can work it down to 10-9, somewhere around there, it might not be too bad for Honeoye. I know that they were expecting Notre Dame to come out strong, being on their home floor in a sectional environment.
Yeah, good job there to beat the press. Yeah, Honeoye is missing a lot of these close ones. You got to stick around if you're missing the short baskets.
Yeah, Covey did not have the touch on 2 attempts inside, and now it will go back to the Irish. Honeoye looking for the over-the-bat call to no avail. So on the Crazy Cheap Cars scoreboard, 3:30 remaining in this second quarter. 16-point lead for the Irish. It's been about as flawless a performance as we've seen from the Irish this season. Hall had it knocked away. Honeoye with it. Fitzpatrick kicks it away, and Honeoye will maintain possession. We'd also like to shout out the Notre Dame girls, winners here this afternoon. Plenty of those girls in attendance here tonight. Notre Dame always packs the stage with a good student section. Tonight is no exception. Welker still pressuring in the backcourt. Washburn having a tough time getting it up the court. Into the lane, knocked away, and a foul called on the floor before he was able to elevate toward the rim. What'd you see there, Coach?
I thought they had to call a foul there. I think too much contact to let go. You know, the more you let them get too aggressive with there and don't call anything and get ugly. So good call there on that one.
Inbound to Cuba. Covey from the free throw line, no good. Cuba collects the extra possession for the Bulldogs, and now it's knocked out of bounds by the Irish.
Yeah, good job being active by Notre Dame in the passing lanes. Barry brings a nice inside physical, athletic presence for them in this zone.
Cuba had it knocked away by Welker. He steals it away now in transition, bounces it to Sherwood. No good, but a foul.
Poor transition defense actually there. That 2 guys go to the ball. As soon as they get coming down, one person stop the ball, the other guy's got to take the other man. 2 men commit to it to get Sherwood an opportunity to get to the line.
And even myself, who played only up to the freshman level, that's the classic 3-on-2, 2-on-1 drill, Coach. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you're not going to communicate, like that's the bottom line. I mean, you see the teams when they get moving on for it, they're talking the whole time.
Sherwood 0 for 2 from the line, a rare empty trip for the Irish guard. And now Groff coming in and giving Fitzpatrick a break. Barry is also checked back in recently. And here comes Honeoye with it. Tried to step through. Did Reynolds to no avail. And here comes Welker leading the charge for the Irish. Sherwood from the corner. Jaden Sherwood, after he misses 2 from the free throw line, is money from beyond the arc.
Yeah, good to get him going. His first couple just didn't really look like he was in a rhythm. That one looked good right from the start. Good box out by Fanera.
Yeah, Fanera is a nasty player, and I say that in a positive sense. He provides that tenacity and that will that you need on defense and on the board.
Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody needs to have a role out there. You don't need, you know, it's tough to have 5 20-point scorers. You need some guys that do the dirty work, rebound, play defense.
Sherwood, back-to-back threes, and it's now a 22-point game, and Honeoye too quick for my camera work. Now we have some unrest brewing in the crowd here. Hope everyone maintains their cool. Controversial call. We'll see if the basket counts. What do you think, Coach?
So the foul came on the rebound. The foul was not on the shot. I believe the Honeoye crowd wants a basket interference. However, that rule when you hit the backboard and cause the ball to bounce around has not been in it for a long time. So maybe when that guy was playing that screaming over there, maybe it was a rule. But, you know, there was also rules when there was a peach basket and you had to get the ladder out. Those rules aren't around either. So these people that yell usually should have a clue or throw them out and make sure that they know the rules to come back in, because this is just embarrassing.
And now we have a bench warning issued to Notre Dame. So a little bit of unrest on both sides here.
Well, you're only supposed to have the head coach talking or standing up at all, so that's a pretty easy one over there. There's a reason for that.
If you're an assistant, your role certainly isn't to talk to the officials, that's for sure. .21 lead for Notre Dame now, and a foul on the rebound. And now we have a 1-and-1 coming up for Notre Dame. The multiple whistles made me think that we had a technical coming. We saw an ejection during the Batavia game and a technical, hoping to get through this game without any of that, but I guess we'll see. We do have a Batavia City policeman on hand here, and I did see a policeman also at the Leroy game. I guess come sectional time, these schools really beef up the security.
Yeah, I think it's part of, some schools have that with the contract with them. I know ours always came around. Hopefully it's not needed, but you know, we've seen enough craziness in sports over the years that this does provide a little extra security.
Cuba down the lane, nice finish from the Bulldogs forward. He's been impressive here tonight, working the boards and finishing at the rim. 20-point lead for Notre Dame. A minute and a half remaining in the half, and now the Bulldogs working up the court to Washburn. They've cut it to 18 as the Bulldogs starting to find a little bit of rhythm here late in this first half.
I mean, it's happened a few times here. You should always have a guy back, so if, you know, Welker's not the guy up top, somebody else has got to rotate back. Otherwise, Washburn just keeps running by guys.
Right, that classic leak out. Cherry picking, as we called it on the schoolyard. I was the king of cherry picking. I didn't play much defense. 3 ball, no good. Around the rim and out, looked good, but Botter couldn't get the shooter's touch. Up the floor to Barry, out to Groff, around the horn to Welker. Back inside to Barry now. Fading away, no good. Cuba reaching for the rebound, but Antonor banks it off the leg of Reynolds.
Yeah, we saw this out of Antonor at the Christmas tournament. Good high-energy player for them. It's a great single-man effort there. It was only him and 3 Honeoye guys, and he saved the possession there for Notre Dame. Probably going to go last shot here.
Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, beginning with Genesee Community College. GCC offers 60-plus affordable academic programs and over 120 scholarships for you to begin your next journey. Apply for free at genesee.edu/apply or call 866-CALL-GCC today. Also, Casella Waste, looking for residential pickup at your house, a dumpster or roll-off service for your place of business. Call Casella Waste and check out their great rates on local waste removal. Casella is your #1 provider for all your waste and recycling needs and is always putting your waste to work. Also, Crazy Cheap Cars, the ultimate in price and selection. Find your next vehicle at crazycheapcars.com. They carry the largest selection of over 150 pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, the largest selection of any dealer in the area. So 35 seconds remaining. Coach Mikey Rapone calls a timeout to set up his best out-of-bounds play. And they get it in, and now perhaps a half-court set dialed up, which will likely initiate with about 10 seconds remaining or inside 10 seconds.
It looks like Honeoye switched to a 1-3-1 possibly this possession here, trying to show something different. Not sure Notre Dame recognizes it.
Groff in the corner, left open, no good. Antonor fighting for the rebound, another chance, no foul through the contact, and a shot clock violation. So Honeoye will have it now with 2.3 remaining here in the second quarter. And when they're going to put 3 seconds on the clock. Waiting for the clock to be adjusted here. Add an extra 7/10 of a second. It's always an adventure when you ask these clock operators to reset the clock. They do it every quarter, but it's a little more difficult, I guess, setting the seconds. I don't know. I don't know the explanation.
Well, they have the 1/10 of a second that they've got to put in there. The 8 minutes for the quarter is a set time in there. Coach Rapone's over there. Coach Mike Rapone, the recently retired coach, he figures out all these tech things. I mean, he's probably got that. Yeah, he figured it out in no time.
He's a great tech guy. Great tech guy. 3 seconds remaining. Lofted to midcourt. Welker takes it away, turns the tables, and almost knocks down the three. We head to the break, an 18-point lead for Notre Dame here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We'd quickly like to thank UR Medicine Noise Health Quality Care, close to home. We'll be back after a short break here at Notre Dame High School. The Irish taking it to the visiting Bulldogs through 16 minutes of play. All right, back to action here at Notre Dame High School, the site of tonight's Class D1 quarterfinal matchup. Notre Dame leading visiting Honeoye by 18 at the break on the Crazy Cheap Cars scoreboard. Coach Dan Dickens and Alex Brasky here with you, ready to take you through the final 16 minutes of this contest. It's been a hot start to this game for Ryan Fitzpatrick. 4 3-pointers in that first half. Just simply on fire, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great job from him just starting things off here in their sectional play. You hope that...
And equally as impressive on the other side for Honeoye has been Landon Washburn, but Fitzpatrick able to respond with the 2-pointer on the other end. Sorry to cut you off, Coach.
No, I'm just saying, and you see it from Fitzpatrick there. He was able to get out and run and does most of his damage behind the arc, but able to get strong take to the basket there to respond to the three the other way. Good rebound.
Barry collects the rebound up the floor to Sherwood. Can't get the roll with the left hand. Cuba, the baseball pass out of the reach of Washburn. That's really been Honeoye's best offense tonight, leaking out with Washburn and Cuba throwing over the top, but that time a little bit too long, looking like J.P. Lossman on that throw, Coach.
Yeah, they've had a lot more success once they've gotten it to the half court out of the transition era. Even the first possession there, the second half, nice rebound again by Covey.
Again, Washburn behind the defense. Notre Dame might have to leave somebody back on every possession and go 4-on-5 offensively.
I mean, that should never happen more than once. Like, you see he's leaking out. Whoever's on top should be sprinting back. 4 rebound, 1 back. Like I said earlier, if it's Welker's penetrate or something, one of the other guards got to rotate back. Sherwood.
Jaden Sherwood for 3, picked off by Fitzpatrick in transition. Antonor tries the 3-ball, no good. And a foul underneath. It will stay with the Irish with 6:20 remaining here in the third. My throat's getting a little raw, Coach. Third game of the day. I'm having to go to the water a little bit more often here in game 3. It's been fun, though. First 2 with Mia Laughlin. You did the second one with me, and now on the third one as well. This is really the most exciting time of year for a sports writer and somebody who streams these games. Football season is no doubt exciting in its own right in that regard with the excitement on the streams, but with the amount of games day after day and the amount of programs involved and the communities involved and the excitement in the gymnasium is just something different about it. Maybe it's me being raised by a coach who's been at the helm for 31 years now.
Yeah, I think for people that are invested in basketball, there's no better time. I've been coming to the Blue Cross since like 1988 watching games, so I was fortunate enough to coach and play. Didn't play at the Blue Cross, but I've been able to coach there, be there as a spectator quite a bit, and just the something going on here. Oh, Coach Rapone coming to save the technology again.
Sometimes I feel like he stages these problems just so it can look like he's swooping in to save the day. And I'll tell you what, that's a veteran move from a veteran athletic director in Coach Rapone.
Yeah, I thought his IT skills would be like wheeling that. Now I'm dating myself again. They used to wheel these TVs and these big monitors into your classroom, and that was like a great day.
That's when you knew you had movie day.
Yeah, I think that's what Coach Rapone's AV background will be, but he's out there. He's got he unplugged it, plugged it back in. That's always the first thing they tell you to do. So, he just seems like he knows what he's doing over there. The guy can do it all.
40 years coaching basketball, and now in his first year as IT director here in Reinhardt Gymnasium. And now he's on the jog. I don't think I ever saw him on the jog during his days on the bench, but all kidding aside, Coach Rapone does a great job for Notre Dame High School. lives and breathes Irish athletics, and his son taking the helm, and it's always great to see family handing it off to family, and Coach Rapone has put in the time. He was a coach, I believe, at the modified level briefly, then the JV level, then assisted at the varsity level. He's also coached football here at Notre Dame. He's coached baseball, and he was a three-sport athlete in his own right. He's a golf coach as well, so contrary to some people's opinions, he has put the time in here, and he deserves this opportunity, and he's running with it. He was basically the head coach last year. They earned a sectional title with the senior Coach Rapone still listed as the head coach. And now this year, once again, he has the Irish as a title contender. So Coach Mikey Rapone has really done a nice job, and there's no doubt the leadership from his father and the knowledge passed down, both dealing with kids and also schematically on the court, have played into his success.
Yeah, it's a lot of the same stuff that the elder Coach Rapone kind of ran with a little wrinkle of his own. Like you said, Mikey did most of the coaching last year to begin with, but like you said, Coach Rapone really probably the biggest Notre Dame person around, big supporter, all the athletes, not just the basketball players or kids he's coached. Big supporter of the school. I'm a friend of his. I've gotten to know him quite well over the years. And just, obviously they had the success here, multiple sectional titles, state titles as well. Like they're got an opportunity this year. I mean, Avoca Prattsburg was a state champ last year. They've got enough talent out there. Like I could see them making a long run in the state tournament here. And like you said, the biggest thing, and it's not a bad thing, he always has a guy he can call to get some advice from. That's the best thing, I think, with his dad still being around and part of this as the athletic director still. So it goes a long way.
Yeah, it certainly does, that knowledge being passed down. And like you said, Notre Dame has a tall task if they're going to face off with Avoca Prattsburg in the final game down the road. They do have to still get past number 2 Fillmore if they are to advance past Honeoye here tonight. But if they are to meet AP in that final game, I think they're going to need a performance like you've seen from them tonight. They've been relentless on both ends of the floor. They played with great confidence, and multiple players have been involved on the offensive end, with Fitzpatrick leading the way and also Welker doing a great job controlling the basketball.
Yeah, he really has. The one difference you'll see, and it's the same, Avoca Prattsburg and Notre Dame both play a very aggressive style here. So what you're going to see is a wider, bigger court. Sometimes this doesn't transition as much over on the big courts, and it takes a little while to get used to. So Prattsburg a little more experienced playing there.
Cuba for 3, no good. Elevating for the rebound is Jaden Sherwood, and Avoca Prattsburg advanced past its quarterfinal matchup this afternoon. They started that game, Coach. This is not, I'm not misspeaking, 42-2 they started their Class D1 quarterfinal matchup, so that just goes to show you how difficult of a matchup that will be potentially for Notre Dame if they are to face off with AP down the road. Fitzpatrick tried to take the charge, a bit of a flop, and the ref tells him just to get up there. I think the right call, as ball was passed away, and really kind of secondary contact as Finera drive to the basket to make it a 21-point Notre Dame lead with 3:40 remaining here in the third quarter on the Crazy Cheap Cars scoreboard. Honeoye throws it away off Notre Dame. Inside, Covey. Nice finish from Covey. As Honeoye continues to try to hang around here, as a foul called on the floor.
Yeah, good finish by Covey inside here. I think they got caught on a mismatch down here, and Jurek a little slow on that one. Antnor going by him.
Finera strong through the contact, and he'll head to the line for 2 shots. Finera, the son of Notre Dame football coach Jimmy Finera, longtime assistant, took over as the head coach this past season and led Notre Dame to a somewhat resurgent year. They certainly had more success than they had in the previous few years, and hopefully Coach Finera can build something there. He certainly has a wealth of experience and always has the commitment from the athletes here at Notre Dame, so definitely needs a little bit more numbers, a little more size up front does the Irish football team, but they always come equipped with talented skill players, and if they can complement them with a little bit more up front, I think this Notre Dame football team can have a bright future. They had some young linemen this year in progression, so quite possibly a bright future sooner rather than later for that program, as the inside finish cuts this one to an 18-point Notre Dame lead. Welker to the basket, no good. Hayden Groff creating the extra possession, and that's what he does for Notre Dame. Everybody plays their role when this Notre Dame is clicking on all cylinders, and Finera knocks down the three. And you mentioned earlier how Finera is I mentioned earlier how Finera is an energy player, a tenacious type mentality, but don't let that fool you. He can also go for 20 plus. He has multiple times this season. He has the ability to score from inside and out, as Reynolds, 2 straight baskets for Honeoye. And really that versatile ability of Finera is what makes him such a threat if he can find that hot hand from the outside. And an offensive foul as Honeoye continues to work hard here. Washburn takes the charge. And you spoke to it earlier, Coach, as I forgot to add Honeoye's last few points. I have the score incorrect. I will correct that now. 19-point lead for Notre Dame. But you alluded to how the effort has been just fantastic for every game that we've watched. No matter if it's a 40-point game, a 2-point game, no matter what, these kids continue to work hard, and that's been the case for Honeoye here tonight, trailing by double digits for much of the evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing. This is with the open tournament. You're going to have some lopsided scores. Not that this one's as bad as some of the other ones that we've done. It is good to see kids keep competing. And Honeoye's played pretty well in this third quarter, to be honest with you. Probably going to get one there. Yeah, watch there.
Sherwood finishes. Fitzpatrick. 3-point play opportunity coming up.
Yeah, another strong basket there by Fitzpatrick. Again, showing that he can get to the basket as well as shoot the ball from behind the arc. Very comfortable at the line. Notre Dame continuing to press here. Very active up front with Sherwood and Welker. And then another turnover here as Groff's in the right spot at the right time. I will tell you, it looked like a good follow there from Welker, because Honeoye is probably going to get a basket.
Speaking with one of the Honeoye fans, I've learned that one of the big men on the bench for Honeoye in street clothes is a key contributor typically to this program, as Fitzpatrick fouled. Another 3-point play opportunity coming up. But Honeoye's Ethan Zonk, a 6-foot-plus force inside, missing from this roster this season. Suffered an injury during the soccer season, has been out for the year. And not necessarily one of the top scorers for this team, but certainly could potentially make a difference inside the paint, where Notre Dame has really driven the ball at will down the lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's small school basketball, D school. When you lose a kid, I mean, it affects your team, especially a starter, and especially some height and size. Cuba picking up his 4th there, I think, possibly. Maybe his 3rd. He'd be a big loss if he had to go out.
.130 remaining here in the third quarter. Cuba guarded closely by Welker. Appeared to kick it away, but no whistle. Welker in transition and the finish. Did you see a kickball there, Coach? Welker again. And my question to you, does the kickball have to be intentional?
Yeah, it has to be an intentional act. I didn't think anything was there. Besides hitting his foot on it. Nice rebound here by Jurek. Oh, nice strong take there by Jurek.
Can't get the finish. Always good to have a rules expert like Coach Dickens on the call. I'm not going to lie, I'm a more well-versed baseball guy when it comes to the rules. So good to know. I thought that my initial thought may have been a bit flawed there, as I did realize it does have to be kind of that intentional kicking motion where we didn't quite see that from Welker. But Notre Dame has continued the pressure defense here in the third and continued their effort. They're looking to ride through into the semis with a wave of momentum, as George Woodruff is at the line now, misses the front end. Antonor on the rebound, and he's fouled.
Yeah, at this point, it's just, I mean, you've got Antonor out there just outworking two Honeoye kids. That's going to be 5 on Cuba, I believe. It's going to be a big loss on him, but he's got to get that defensive rebound. And feel bad. He's a senior. Had a good year for him. You know, you hate to see it, but, you know, I think Coach Delasante just rolled him out. Was going to roll him as long as he could, being that he's a senior, and this is going to be his last competitive game.
Great effort from Cuba here tonight. Great effort from this Bulldogs team as a whole. Well-coached bunch. You know Coach Delasante. You know how much time he puts in, and disappointing end, but I'm sure he's proud of his team's effort here tonight. They certainly have not been lacking in that department. 3 ball, no good, and out of bounds.
No, and he knew they were going to have to play an outstanding game tonight. He knew they were going to have to not turn it over. They were going to have to make some shots. You know, I think, you know, him being a Honeoye grad, too, it means a little bit more, just like with Mikey being a Notre Dame grad. You know, Rob graduated, I think, in 97 from Honeoye, was played on some really good teams. So, you know, again, I think when you do have somebody in the community, sometimes it means a little bit more to them. You know, they're giving back to somewhere that's dear to their heart here. And, you know, I'll tell you what, they got this 8th grader, Washburn. I'm going to keep my eye on him the next few years because I've been really impressed with him.
Woodruff working hard underneath, and now Groff gets the finish and a 3-point play opportunity coming up for Hayden Groff. And more Honeoye ties on the Bulldogs bench. Seated next to Coach Delasante is Max Gale, one of the top athletes in recent Honeoye history, a fantastic pitcher for the Honeoye baseball team. Also performed well for the Honeoye basketball team. Not sure if he played soccer or something else in the fall, but those are the 2 sports I remember him for. And now putting in time as the JV coach of this Honeoye basketball program. As you see Owen Reynolds in there convert on the lay-in, and he'll have a chance at a 3-point play now. Neither side giving an inch defensively.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's when you have that trap, you've got to be strong enough to step through it. As you saw, there was a ball fake here. Then Covey did a great job stepping through and finding Reynolds. Good job by Reynolds to finish with the contact.
Three-point play for Reynolds and a technical foul called on Owen Bowder. Three seconds remaining in this third quarter. Owen Bowder has been issued a technical foul, and he's been subsequently removed from the game by Coach Delasante as Evan Anselm awaits the substitution. And Coach Delasante doesn't seem like he's too pleased with that call by the official. Coach, what did you see there?
Well, it looks like one of those, he was saying he got elbowed first. Typical, though, they usually catch the second guy. You know, again, you have a senior trying to play hard, got a little rattled. They're kids, you know, unlike the people yelling in the crowd. They're kids, you know, and you know, not able to handle some of these things. I'm frustrated, I'm sure, with the scores. So, you know, you hate to see it. Again, I mean, this happens sometimes with kids. So, you know, hopefully we get just a clean fourth quarter, and I'm assuming we'll see similar to like Coach Brasky did with Batavia earlier today. You're not going to see any starters on the floor for Notre Dame in the fourth quarter.
And I think you definitely relayed Coach Delasante's thoughts correctly. He definitely thought his player got hit first. As Sherwood fading away at the buzzer. No good. We head to the fourth here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. A quick update from the Class B2 semifinal going on at Dansville High School. Dansville with a 2-point lead over Attica with 2:25 remaining in the fourth quarter. Dansville with the ball, and they come up empty, but a foul called, and now the Mustangs will head to the line for 2 shots. We'd like to thank our sponsors here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. We're going to continue to update you on that game. Genesee Community College, apply for free online, genesee.edu/apply. Over 120 scholarships are available, and over 88% of full-time students receive financial aid. Also, Casella Waste will save your business time and money on trash and recycling services. Casella Waste, affordable and reliable local service. Also, crazycheapcars.com, the ultimate in price and selection. crazycheapcars.com. You can reach them at 585-948-8000. Also, UM Medicine Noise Health, quality care close to home. We'll give a quick update. 54-50 Dansville as they knock down 2 free throws at the line. And now a timeout on the floor. 2:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Attica giving the number 3 seeded Mustangs all they can handle. Attica has dealt with so many injuries this season. They recently got Clayton Bizon back in the lineup, and he put forth a quality effort against North Rose Wolcott in Attica's previous sectional game. And now the Blue Devils looking to make it 2 in a row, but they trail it by 4 with 2 minutes remaining. Coach, you were on that game with me, Attica and North Rose Wolcott. You've seen Dansville play this year. We knew that that was going to be a good game, and it's turned out to be maybe even better of a game than we thought.
Yeah, I mean, Attica's got talented kids. You know, that length and you know, you get in that sectional atmosphere. Dansville with a long layoff coming into this. You know, obviously Harding and Janes can play, and, you know, Thomas coming back as a point guard. Ooh, go the other way here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised to see him in a game here at the end. Time to get Welker out of the game.
Some physical play going on, and I agree with you, Coach. Sometimes you see in games like this, the starters remain in the game a little bit too long, and I think we're seeing it here. The way Notre Dame's played tonight, it's not like they've left anything on the table. They've exhibited everything they've needed to show, and I get it, this is these seniors' last home game, but at the same time, you got bigger fish to fry down the road here.
Yeah, I would be shocked if they're out there for much more than another minute or two. You got some clean jerseys down there at the end of the bench ready to go out and play hard here. Up 30 with 7 to go.
So here's Honeoye with it. Welker able to knock it away and lead the break once again. Groff in transition. And another bucket for Notre Dame. 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. Cully inside, no good. Rebound goes to Barry, and here comes Welker slowing it down. Fanera off the dribble, spinning into the lane, kicks it to Woodruff for 3, knocks it down. George Woodruff hits the 3, and it's now up to a 34-point lead. And no sign of the substitutes yet, Coach.
Jurek from out there. You know, Notre Dame plays hard. Like, that's the thing here, too. I'd be a little worried. You don't need somebody getting hurt. Good job slowing it down here, I guess. I saw him talking to some people, so it looked like he might be getting ready to put in a few reserves.
Fanera for 3, no good. Welker on the rebound. And an extra possession here for the Irish. 34-point lead for Notre Dame. Welker fading away. No good. Washburn once again in transition for Honeoye. He's had himself a strong night. to Woodruff. Welker tries the three. .35 lead for Notre Dame now. We got one sub coming in, Maverick Hall. I've already seen plenty of him tonight. Bryson Berry walks off the court, likely for the final time. It's a nice round of applause. Off the reverse layup. Fading away and connecting. Beautiful fadeaway jumper. Owen Botter back on the floor after that technical moments ago. And now Notre Dame throwing alley-oops. And the bucket from Hall. Looked like that one was tipped by Woodruff. And Hayden Groff will take a break now. Evan Fitzpatrick onto the floor. Also CJ Thornley in for Notre Dame. 4:05 remaining. We'll sync our clock as soon as we can. Welker still leading the break for the Irish. Hall inside. No good. Go back to the Bulldogs. We are inside the midpoint here in the fourth quarter. Welker commits a foul. Looks like he'll be sub for. Gabe Castro coming onto the floor now. And Welker gets a good hand from the crowd. .37 lead for the Irish. Subs on the floor now. Nice drive. No good from Luke Armstrong. And now here comes Evan Fitzpatrick leading the break. And he bowls over a Honeoye defender, and he's called for the travel. Another sub coming on for Honeoye. Cooper Pulver, the pulverizer they call him, pulled up from JV. 3:20 remaining, deep three from Botter, no good, and the pulverizer almost got the putback, excuse me. We had the laser in the Batavia game, and now we got the pulverizer, Coach. And Coach, you're over there watching the Attica-Dansville game so intently, you haven't provided another update. How about an update for the people at home?
Jesus. So we've got a 56-52. Dansville's leading, 31 seconds left, Attica ball.
Just busting your chops, Coach. Pulver. They'll head to the line. So 56-52, 20 seconds remaining. Dansville headed to the line. It looks like the Mustangs are going to hold their home court and move on to the Class B2 semifinal. But these free throws are key. This would seal the deal. We'll give you a live play-by-play of the free throws as we give you the pulverizer from the free throw line. 1 for 1 is Dansville, 5-point lead now. If they make it 6, it's going to put it close to out of reach for Attica. Still will be a 2-possession game, but 2 threes in a short amount of time with free throws on the other end are tough. Owen Cuba also on the court now for Honeoye. Three Owens on this team. We have Owen Botter, Owen Reynolds, and Owen Cuba. Must make for difficult practices at times. So a 6-point lead for Dansville now. Timeout on the floor. Looks like the Mustangs are going to walk away with the win. Maverick Hall connects on the free throw. 2:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Pulver certainly not shy on driving it to the basket. He'll head to the line again here.
Yeah, pretty easy call there, moving around. Not in a legal guarding position. The Honeoye kids continuing to attack the basket and drawing fouls, lengthening the game. Tell you though, taking a look at some of these Honeoye kids, they have the 8th grader Washburn. I was impressed with Billy Covey tonight. He's a junior. Owen Reynolds had some good minutes for him, a sophomore. And now you see these JV call-ups, very little aggressive group too. So I think, something to build. Coach Delasante, something to build on next year.
Yeah, talking to this nice woman from Honeoye next to me, she's alluded to the fact that Coach Delasante has a strong group coming up in the years to come, and there's plenty to look forward to for this Bulldogs program, and wouldn't be surprised if we find them back here facing off with Notre Dame in a quarterfinal matchup down the road.
Yeah, you see a lot of times that with the small, there's only 8 or 9 teams in the Class D, so typically you see the same teams at the semis because a lot of it's built on your culture and how you've played over the past. Like, you once in a while see a team have an odd year and get to the semis or finals, but typically in the small, a lot of the same schools year after year. And Honeoye and Notre Dame, I could see matching up again next year.
One free throw from Cuba. There's been a lot of fouls in the last minute. It's really slowed this game to a crawl. Doesn't bode well for my grumbling stomach. But, Coach, we've witnessed the quarterfinal round now. We're getting ready for the semifinals as a three-pointer heaved up by Notre Dame. No good. And now here comes Honeoye. But, Coach, why don't you give us your impressions of the quarterfinal round and spotlight some of the high-profile matchups we can expect to see in the semifinals?
Yeah, I mean, it's been like what we kind of expected, the ones we've worked. Pretty one-sided, but, good competition. Good to see teams continue to battle to the end here. I'm really looking forward to Monday. I believe it'll be UNI down at Letchworth on the Bolivar Pembroke, followed by the Oakfield York games. I know going to be a couple good ones at Bloomfield as well. Avon Geneseo. Avon's got a lot of talented offensive players. They've won it 3 years in a row. Coach Freeze does a great job. Year in and year out, Avon's there. So I think we're going to see some really good, highly competitive C games. Notre Dame, like you said, and I believe that'll be Wednesday when they're going to play Fillmore. Not 100% sure on that. That could be Tuesday, but I think it's Wednesday. You could have a decent game there. Coach Crouch does a good job at Fillmore. Obviously, Notre Dame, the way they play today is going to be a tough out. I mean, a lot of different players stepping up. Welker just, defensively kind of taking Honeoye out of any rhythm. I think, there should be some, obviously in the semis, usually more competitive games.
Very much looking forward to it. Batavia, the top seed in Class B1, advancing to take on potentially Bishop Kearney in the semifinal. So 2 Batavia teams in the semifinal. Seems like a common occurrence here in the winter time as Coach Rapone and Coach Brasky have developed quite the basketball haven in this small western New York City.
Yeah, both programs year in and year out are competitive. They might have a down year, but it's not for long. I mean, just a good feeder program all the way through. Kids playing. I mean, it pays off. There's 10 kids playing on each grade level, and when you see these young kids here too, I see a lot of younger kids around here. Like, they love coming here. They can't wait to play. Just like at Batavia, we saw a lot of younger kids. Can't wait to be part of it. Can't wait to be out there. They look up to these kids as role models. these older kids for him. And I think Pulverizer.
Pulverizer with the finish. What a fourth quarter for him.
He's going to get his name in the paper one way or another.
So here's Notre Dame now, and kind of a clash of cultures on the Batavia boys basketball bench. You have Dave Pirot Jr., the JV coach, a phenomenal player here at Notre Dame for the boys program, held the career three-point record for a while, and now over helping Coach Brasky run that program. And like you said at the top of the broadcast, the Batavia boys won the Division IV title this year. So just goes to show you, Batavia basketball, both Notre Dame and Batavia High School, have built something special over these past 3-4 decades, and it continues with Notre Dame's win over Honeoye in the Class D1 quarterfinal, a win that came by 33 points. So we just watched the two Batavia teams win by a combined, I think, 70 points, and that was quite the performance from these local athletes, and good for them as they get to put their talents on display come next week in the sectional semifinal. But for the last time in the quarterfinal round, Alex Brasky and Coach Dan Dickens signing off here on the Batavia Daily News Sports Network. It's been an enjoyable weekend, and we'll see you next time.